Hola, ¿qué tal amigos de Amin Consulting México? Hoy estamos de nuevo con el profesor Daniel Wong. La última vez hablamos sobre los requisitos que necesitamos en términos económicos para venir a Canadá. Ahora vamos a hablar sobre un tema muy importante, el Work Permit o el permiso de trabajo. Daniel, háblanos un poco sobre los permisos de trabajo y qué es lo que necesitamos para venir.
Yes, student can apply for the work permit. There are three different types of student work permit. First of all, co-op work permit, and second, off-campus work permit, and third, postgraduate work permit. Based on their inquiry to the immigration, they can apply those three different types of student work permit. Co-op work permit is given to the student who needs a internship or practicum to finish their course of studies. So when they are getting an admission from the post-secondary educational institute in Canada, then the letter of acceptance should be indicating how many hours of their studies in Canada and how many hours are required to do the internship in Canada to finish the program. So if they have that internship option, student can apply this first co-op work permit. Second, if the student is registered at the designated post-secondary educational institute in Canada after finish their first semester, which is about 6 months, and if they are good academic stand, and if they get a reference letter from school, then they can apply this off-campus work permit. And they will be able to work 20 hours per week during their course of studies and full-time working hours if they are going through summer or winter vacation.
Oh.
And lastly, there is a postgraduate work permit which will be given to the student who finished their course of studies in Canada, minimum 8 months of full-time studies in Canada. And they also has to be registered with Immigration Canada, and they are eligible to apply this postgraduate work permit. And they can, get this work permit minimum 8 months to maximum 3 years based on how many years of that they studied in Canada.
Okay. ¿Cuáles son los requisitos para obtener este permiso de trabajo?
The requirement will be depends on what kind of student work permit they are applying. Co-op work permit, of course, the letter of acceptance is the mandatory requirement, and it must show the course of study includes these practicum hours, and they should be able to get this co-op work permit. And second, in order to apply this off-campus work permit, students have to finish the first semester, minimum 6 months course of studies, and they have to get a good academic standing reference letter from the school. That's the mandatory requirement for the off-campus work permit. And postgraduate work permit, I briefly mentioned, but the school has to be registered with Immigration Canada, and they must finish minimum 8 months of full-time studies.
Okay.
Alright?
¿Necesito una oferta de trabajo para obtener este permiso de trabajo en Canadá?
No, not at all. Student work permit doesn't require any job offer in Canada.
Oh, es bueno. Sí.
Right.
Ok, una vez que obtengo el permiso de trabajo, ¿puedo cambiar al empleador?
Sure, they can change the employer anytime. It's pretty much open work permit for off-campus work permit and postgraduate work permit,
Okay.
right? But remember, off-campus work permit is limited working hours, 20 hours per week, right?
Okay.
But they can work for any employers in Canada. Also, it applies to the postgraduate work permit. But only thing, co-op work permit, in order to work and in order to do their practicum or internship, the student must, declare where they're going to be doing internship. So, school has to communicate with the hosting company. So the hosting company can give a full report. They are complying all those conditions throughout the practicum or internship.
Muy bien. ¿Se puede extender el permiso de trabajo si la compañía me quiere contratar?
Yes, if the student is continuously, is willing to continuously work in Canada, they can extend their work permit, but they have to change their status from student work permit to the foreign workers work permit, which means student didn't have to get a labor market opinion from the employer's end. But if they want to change their status to continuously work as a foreign worker in Canada, they have to change their status as a foreign worker, which require labor market opinion from the employer.
Ok, muchas gracias, Daniel. Y bueno, amigos, este fue el otro segmento de nuestros videos. Recuerden visitar la página de IMIN en www.imin.ca y también nuestro Facebook en IMIN México. Ahí pueden encontrar información sobre eventos y distintas cosas que suceden aquí en Vancouver. Gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Hasta luego, Daniel.